Hi, you guys. As you can see, I'm in a very glamorous hotel room. Look at that stunning bed and that green blackout curtain. It just is so extra. Anyway, my house, as you guys know, it got really bad water damage and had to be gutted, most of it. And so I'm living here for a little bit. And I'm doing a little content today, so you get to have this luxurious background. So I was going through some old footage, and I remembered this podcast that I listened to when Andy Cohen's book about being a daddy came out. And I was like, let me go revisit that again, because some of the Patreons were revisiting it too. And you know what happened? He said this, and it was used as a teaser in the beginning of the episode. Listen to this.
And then I often think to myself, well, what would I be doing if I didn't have kids? I would be masturbating and getting high, but I still masturbate and get high plenty with kids.
Yes,
so,
right.
Maybe I'm not missing that much.
Somebody gonna cue me or do I cue myself?
Cue yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little different than the tune he's singing right now, isn't it? Just saying. Well, maybe next time Andy Cohen should be a little more specific of which drugs he's doing to get high so that it isn't confused with cocaine, later in a lawsuit for sure. Yeah. Thankfully, Leah McSweeney is making a ton of money on her OnlyFans because she's erotic and neurotic and people want to buy pictures of her being that way. It's amazing what you can do after your Bravo celebrity status ends, especially at her level with many years on Real Housewives of New York. Gosh, look at the accomplishments. Well, you probably heard that a producer said that Brandi Glanville did not sexually assault Caroline Manzo on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Morocco, which still hasn't been released on Bravo or Peacock, but instead just disrespected her. That was his subjective take. Now, Brandi Glanville released this statement when this all came out, just making sure that nobody thinks that this has resolved any of her issues that were in her complaint. Brandi said, "It only took 15 months, a lawsuit, and me going through hell for the truth to start coming out." Now, Brandi Glanville said, to be fair, that the producers out of Shed instructed her to be overly sexually aggressive with, Caroline Manzo or the other women like she did on her other season where she was, dry humping some of her castmates and making out with Taylor Armstrong, who comes out that she's bisexual in the current season of Real Housewives of Orange County before getting fired. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the producers are highly motivated to say whatever is going to minimize this situation, especially if they were the ones that egged it on and kind of pushed Brandi Glanville to do it by telling her it was what they wanted her to do. Now, this is a reoccurring theme, and as you'll see in tomorrow's show, a Dishing Drama Dana Wilkie podcast, that Faith Stowers also alleges that the producers tried to, after she admitted that she had a crush on Lala Kent, they tried to create a situation where Lala Kent would be forced to sleep in the same room with Faith Stowers in one bed to try to, I guess, have something happen. Also, the producers said to Lala and to Faith, we'd like to see you kind of be sexual with each other. Good TV, right? Team players. The gaslighting never ends. And on tomorrow's show, in the Patreon part, you're going to see an actual example of reality star gaslighting. So there's an example, I guess, Brandi Glanville could rely on. Now, of course, her legal team is the same as Faith, so I'm sure they're coordinating. But anyway, more on that on the show tomorrow. I wonder what's going on with Andy Cohen now regarding all of this with NBC. I wonder if they're still going to do an NBC TV show based on Andy Cohen's memoir. This was being discussed last year, but I'd say after the allegations from Brandi Glanville, this may be on hold now. It certainly has been quiet from Andy Cohen, not his typical way of doing things, so I'm noticing that. What do you think's going on with Andy Cohen and NBC right now? Let me know in the comments. I can't wait to see. And do you feel that Brandi Glanville is now vindicated, or do you think this is the producers trying to protect themselves? Let me know. Okay, so one more thing. At the end of this confessional video, you guys, I figured out why the Hiltons and the Umanskis have more attention than ever. And believe it or not, it has nothing to do with what you guys think. It's at the end of this confessional video. You're going to love it. It's also in the podcast tomorrow in case you don't have time to watch the confessional video. There's a lot of tea in this one if you're into the Umansky family and the Hiltons, okay? So I'm obviously doing a lot of content that's related so you guys get, you can have fun as you learn more and more about stuff, and you'll be able to apply it to what's going on in the tabloids and on the shows that may not be adding up, and then you'll finally go, oh, I know why this is happening now. All right. Anyway, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys in the chat later today.